Hi, good morning. So I'm having some technical difficulties. So hopefully I'm actually live and you can see me. Okay. So I'm running late because things weren't working properly. But here we are now. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is sleep. And I have notes here because I don't want to miss anything because this is really good stuff. So um, sleep. People are struggling with sleep, and you might be one of them. And the things I'm seeing with my clients and even myself are, things like racing thoughts. Um, I don't know if you've had this, but or what it's called, but when you lie in bed and you think about all the like ridiculous things you've done in your whole life and feel embarrassed about, the thing you said to somebody in grade four. Um, that's going on, anxiety, heart palpitations, you can't turn off your brain, nightmares, panic attacks, all that stuff happening either in the night or when you're trying to go to sleep or whatever. What is the deal, right? It's worse now, I think, because of the pandemic and the high stress sort of fight or flight situation that we're finding ourselves in, right? We don't know ever what's going on or, what's going to happen or what's going to be shut down. And so a lot. And even though we feel like during the day we're not really thinking about it, when we start to wind down at night, that's when our unconscious mind is sort of starting to take over, right? And that's when all that stuff that's, we've shoved back there and are like, it's fine, I'm not, I'm fine, I'm not dealing with it, when all that stuff is going to start to kind of peek its way out to be dealt with, right? So if you work with me before, you know that my belief is that everything's related to past events. So maybe not, always far, far, far in the past, although often that's the case. Sometimes it's just a little bit in the past, but it's definitely rarely to do with the present moment right now, right? When you're having a panic attack, in the middle of the night or something, well, you're safe in that moment, right? There's no actual reason why that's happening in the present moment, right? It has to do with the past. And your brain in stressful situations or unstable situations, right? Your brain's always looking for stability and sameness. So what it's trying to do is find those situations in the past. It brings that neurology, pulls it into the present, and then you experience these types of issues, right? Not serving us now, right? We don't want that. Possibly there was a reason for it in the past, but right now we don't need it, right? It's crap. So that's what's going on. And, often it's related to, often when I work with clients around sleep stuff, it's related to feelings of unsafe in the past, or maybe there's a time when you've had to be hypervigilant around sleep or whatever. I had a client, and throughout university, she had a roommate who was, unpredictable and violent and crazy, and sleep wasn't safe for her, right? So as an adult later on in life, of course, sleep was safe. She was married and everything like that, but her brain kept looping to that lack of safety from the past, and it was creating anxiety in the present moment, right? Now, I see that all the time in all kinds of different situations, not just around sleep. So, when we look at what is called timeline therapy, which is one of the main modalities I use with my clients, but I use different modalities. Sometimes those sleep problems don't even have to do directly with sleep in the present moment, right? It could just be how whatever issue you're struggling with is manifesting, right? So it's twofold, right? It could be sleep related issues from the past, right, where that neurology is forming. It could also be something that doesn't seem to be related to actual sleep, but your unconscious mind is, I always tell my clients, is poking at you, right? It's like, hello, deal with this thing. I'm going to create insomnia until you deal with it, or whatever, right? So, it can just be how your problem is manifesting. So we work to figure out that root problem. What's really going on? So, for example, I had a client who had horrible nightmares, and her root problem was actually unimportant, that she felt unimportant. I had another client, like I said, who would wake, with panic in the night. It was because her brain had created a pattern of unsafe, right? So consciously, we know you're safe. Unconsciously, right? That unconscious mind is driving the bus, and it stores every memory and everything that's ever happened to you from the second you were born. Some people believe even in the womb, even past life, whatever your belief is around that. I've certainly had clients go to lots of interesting places to figure this stuff out and get rid of it. So what can you do, right? What the heck can we do about it? Well, first of all, you can obviously work with me to work through it. I'm happy to meet for a free consult at any point. But some things that you can do are just doing some journaling around what's going on and getting into a very deep state of relaxation to try to find those events on your own, right? Because sometimes even just realizing where they've come from and what those patterns are can be really, really powerful in helping you start to deal with them and work through them and eliminate them, right? Before you go to bed, you can keep a thought journal. So if racing thoughts or overwhelm or busyness, or like you're starting to fall asleep and you wake up and you think of something you have to do, right? Before you go to bed, I always advise my clients to write everything that's worrying you, everything you need to do the next day, like just have like a thought dump. And if you start to go there in your brain, busy brain, when you're falling asleep, tell your unconscious mind, it's okay, I have everything written down. You don't have to remember anything. I'm going to look at that book when I get up. It's all going to be fine, right? So it just takes that pressure off of you because you're going to remember everything that you need to remember, right? You'll be fine. Nightly meditations are great. And I know a lot of you know all this stuff. So you want to get yourself into relaxation, right? Into a place where your unconscious mind can come out and take over seamlessly, okay? A nightly routine is a great idea as well. And I know, specialists will talk about sleep hygiene, but it really is true. So a bath, a relaxing TV show, reading a little bit, whatever you need to do, meditating, journaling, but make sure that you keep to that. And it might take time for that to make a difference, that routine, but you're going to find your body craves that routine, right? And also making sure you're tired when you go to bed, right? Be active during the day. I know a lot of us are sitting all day. Yesterday, I was in meetings for like 7 hours with like the quickest lunch break ever. And, I didn't move all day and I had to force myself to get out for a walk because, you need that physical activity to also create that fatigue. So we want to make sure that we are tired and just, keep at the stuff. It's called a practice for a reason because often when you're working through stuff on your own, it takes time. When you work with a coach, we fast track those results for you, right? Because we know exactly where things are coming from and what's going on. I mean, the first time I talk to a client and we start to, dig a little bit and figure out, I love to figure out the patterns and see how things connect to each other and all that kind of thing. So, working with a coach or a professional can certainly fast track your results, 100%. But if you want to work through it on your own or on your own first, then try what I've just been saying. So the thought journal, brain dump, get everything out before bed, start to think a little bit around your patterns, what's going on. And also, supplementation can be great. I can't give any recommendations to that. And thank you. It just says Facebook user, so I don't know who you are, who said, thanks, Eleni. That was distracting to me. What was I talking about? Oh, right, supplementation. 100%, talk to a naturopath. Sleep is important, and I'm really of the mindset that yes, we can work through this and get you to where you want to be. But at the same time, like you need to be sleeping. And I feel like whatever you need to do to sleep is what you need to do to sleep. So if that means melatonin or supplementation, I have certainly been known to take a sleeping pill. So, there's no shame in doing what you need to do. But we do need to get to those root problems to give you relief, right? Because you want your body to be at a natural, functioning, optimally state, right? So if you have any questions, please post them, contact me anytime. And yeah, that's it. So I'll be back next Thursday at noon. And if there's anything you want me to talk on, or you have any questions about what I do or your specific issue and you want me to do a video, I am more than happy to do that because I run out of ideas and I could talk about this stuff all the day long. So feel free to post. Have an amazing day and weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.